more can I say?
Top Billin. Yo, Top Billin to ya. All right, y'all. This particular subject matter for the Miami Dolphins is like, man, it's like that turd that won't flush in the toilet. No matter how much you try to flush that bad boy, it keeps coming back. And Deshaun Watson to the Miami Dolphins is one of these subjects. No matter how much you can say that it probably doesn't have any validity to it or doesn't have any legs to it, it doesn't stop people from talking about it, right? So, you know me, I talked about this previously, and of course, the 21 season should be the coming out party for my man, the Samoan sniper, Tua Tagovailoa, because that man now finally has some weapons, right? They went out and really did it up for that man. No doubt about that. There are some aspects I still think of the offense that needs to be addressed. Maybe that'll be addressed at a later date. But from a weapon standpoint, man, you can't argue about or argue against what they did for sure. So I was expecting that to be the thing right there, and for people to really use their brains and kind of come to an understanding that having this guy on his rookie contract and what he could be is magnificent, because the Miami Dolphins are set to win a Super Bowl. At the very least, they're set up to perhaps advance in the playoffs. So it's going to be hard, right? The AFC is extremely loaded, and we all know this for sure. Them damn Baltimore Ravens, baby. I got to say it right. Fandom aside or whatever like that, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. You can even go, of course, the Kansas City Chiefs. We got to know that they're tops, right? Top of the food chain type cats. And then there are some teams all around that. Even a team like the New England Patriots, what it did in the offseason. Man, it's going to be a tough road to hoe there, but those teams have to play the Miami Dolphins as well. And I cannot stress how much I love the Dolphins' defensive personnel. So at the very least, you know you got that. I mean, these boys are loaded, right? They're loaded on each level. So that's rare, right? That's where you put them, to me, in the conversation with a Baltimore Ravens, Washington football team, man, who else? The New York Football Giants. These guys are loaded at all levels, and the Miami Dolphins have a chance to be very special on defense. But now on offense, have the weapons to match. I mean, you go out and you get perhaps the best deep threat in all of football in Will Fuller. Then you go and draft that man. Oh, my God. The freaking Houston Comet. Jalen Waddle from the University of Alabama, and that was exactly who I said they should have got. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to have to keep stressing that right there. We went through all that shit. I said, if he's there on the board, if it isn't Kyle Pitts, that's who it needs to be, and that's exactly who it is. So he adds a variety of explosiveness, right? Being able to create from scratch. You can obviously put the ball in the air 40, 50 yards. He'll go get it, but he can break tackles. He can muscle relax you into a coma. He can separate ankles from their soles. That boy is going to be hard. And what that does, it allows someone like Devontae Parker, who you can say is, he looks getting off the bus, he looks like a number one wide receiver. Theoretically, he's, to me, a number two wide receiver. Maybe one of those guys can step up and be that. At the very least, man, you can have a 1A, 1B, and you got to factor in a guy like Mike Gesicki as well. Definitely a top 10 tight end in all of football. Could be pushing for the top 5. I have to go through and do a list to see where he really stands at least according to myself there. But he's up there. So he got some weapons. Offensive line has to play a lot better, in my opinion. Especially if we're talking about pass protection and everything like that. You want to be able to help out the Samoan sniper there. But he can get rid of the ball fast. They're going to have a myriad of ways for him to get rid of the ball fast. I don't know, man. And that run game, too, the running backs, Myles Gaskin and those boys, right? Go and get Malcolm Brown. I think that's a good pickup for somebody if you need somebody to get that short yardage stuff. But I don't know. I felt like they needed an elite, a more premium player at the very least at that position, and somebody who can flip the field as far as having elite speed. And nobody, to me, that they have at the running back position has that. So we shall see. But there's enough weapons there for them to advance in the playoffs, and the defense is good enough to spearhead that. But Deshaun Watson being available right now, I know they say he's always been available, but when something comes out to the media, it comes out because they wanted to come out. So it's a big difference from them saying before when they're like the Texans were like, we're not looking to trade him and this and that, and whatever they do behind the scenes is one thing. But it coming out in the media, there's really or rarely anything that happens in the NFL that is not dictated, especially when it's dealing with media. Right? I've been in the media for 8 years at various high-level spots on the internet, of course, before it all cultivated or came to fruition for your boy building his own brand here on YouTube. But I know how the game works right there. So they're open for business on that. I don't want to get into the legal aspects or that man's troubles and stuff like that, right? It's too soon. You know your boy right here, I be joking around and shit like that, but I feel like that's no joking matter. Of course, you don't want to say that somebody is guilty of something before they've been charged with anything or have had their day in court or whatever like that. So I don't know, but sometimes, man, when there's smoke, there's fire and all this and that. It is what it is. I just want to keep this football. This is what this channel is about for the most part. So I will get on certain subjects that hit near and dear to me, but that's not one of them. I've never had those type of problems before. So, you know what I mean? If I want a massage, I'll just get it from a chick that I'm dating at the time. I don't even want no massages and shit like that, to be honest with you. I don't know. It ain't my style or whatever like that. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? I had to do it, man. That man in that damn robe, man, that's one of them super pervert robes. All I heard about is that man in his robe, and he can do shit that the average man can't do when he got that robe on. So y'all watch it. As long as he can go to Miami and not have that robe on, he might be good. So keep the robe, leave that robe in Texas. He came to Miami. You would have to say that no matter what I said about how great Tua Tagovailoa can be, Deshaun Watson is already that. Him there. Right, so I wanted to go through this. Like, if these guys were to actually want to go through with this particular trade, you're going to have to give up some players. And if I'm the Houston Texans, I know exactly who to ask for to make it semi-fair, because you're giving up perhaps as the guys that you would consider the younger guys or whatever like that. You're giving up perhaps the best quarterback in all of football for the young guys, not named Patrick Mahomes. Now, me personally, right, I roll with Lamar Jackson, but you can make an argument that Deshaun Watson is just better than Lamar Jackson. I don't want to hear no Lamar Jackson hate either, so you can say that shit. But Deshaun Watson is the absolute truth. The guy's a damn animal with his arms, and I'll show some comparison here, some stats comparisons, and we can say that. But so this is what I would do if I was the Houston Texans. All right, you want my guy, my franchise quarterback. Of course, I'm going to want the young kid, the Samoan sniper, right? You reunite him, meaning Deshaun Watson, with Will Fuller. Well, I'm going to reunite Tua Tagovailoa with the guy you just drafted in Jalen Waddle and bring him home to Houston. That alone right there, I don't know. If I'm the Houston Texans, I can get those two guys, especially when you factor in their wide receiver court right now, not all that good. You'll get yourself a young franchise quarterback. You already have my dude, Tyrod Taylor from them Hokies, so he can learn under him like every other good young quarterback has done, right? Tyrod, man, he gets I don't know, I want to talk about that, right? But a lot of good players have learned under Tyrod Taylor that he's a good role model for young QB. So they get Tua and Jalen Waddle. They probably will want an established player as well. So I don't know, probably somebody on defense. I don't know. Maybe they have the money to pay Xavier Howard. That's scary right there, right? You might lose this guy anyway. So maybe you work out something right there, and they get a Xavier Howard, and then they would have to get a first-round pick and maybe a third-round pick or something like that. That's big business. Is that feasible for the Miami Dolphins to still be able to go where they want to go? Yes. The Dolphins, I said before, are still loaded on defense, and they will still have a Will Fuller with a Devontae Parker and a Mike Gesicki, and then a Jakeem Grant and Lynn Bowden. All these guys like that as well. They still will have a pretty good amount of talent. And you add in Deshaun Watson's arm and his brain and everything like that. That's scary as shit still. That's still advancing the playoff worthy, Super Bowl contender type worthy to me. But then you factor in that you might want to hit on this pretty soon because you got guys you got to pay. And then you bring in Deshaun Watson, his big-ass contract, And then you have to pay all these other guys. That's why it's cool to have Tua Tagovailoa on that rookie deal to me and get to where you got to go. But I can see it from both sides. So I want to know what you guys and how you guys feel about that particular package right there. Would they still be Super Bowl contenders in your opinion? Right? With that being said, check out Deshaun Watson and how freaky this guy is just from a stats perspective. Can't do anything with film or anything like that right now. They shut down the process for now when they're getting ready for the 21 season. So we got to make do with what we got, baby. So let's check out the stats. Although I consider Deshaun Watson a young boy, your man is very comparable to some of the old heads out here that are absolutely killing it still, and that would be Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, and Russell Wilson. Just a comparison from that standpoint for the last 2 seasons, right? The last 2 full seasons, everybody played 32 games except Watson, who played 31 games, so keep that in mind there. And as you can see here, whoo, man, he has the highest completion percentage out of all of them. He almost has the most yardage out of all of them except for Tom Brady, but keep in mind he missed the game. So the averages would definitely favor him. And he threw almost 200 less times, or at least 150 less times than Tom Brady, with that game being lost there. Threw less than Aaron Rodgers, and Russell Wilson threw more, which actually kind of surprises me there. You would always hear about Russell Wilson not throwing but the last couple of seasons they've been letting Russell Wilson really get after it there. Look at the ratings for these guys. This is phenomenal. Tom Brady the last 2 seasons has a 95 rating. Aaron Rodgers has a 107.9 rating the last 2 seasons. Russell Wilson with a 105.7. Deshaun Watson with a 105.5 rating. He's right there with those guys. Come on now. 59 touchdowns and 19 interceptions the past 2 seasons. And we know this. He lost his number 1 wide receiver this past season and absolutely destroyed the season, right? His team is not good. I tried to explain this to somebody on the Baltimore Ravens content when we were talking about Deshaun Watson versus Lamar Jackson. I'm like, you can't get on Deshaun Watson. He's doing his thing. His defense, his Houston Texans defense sucks, period. They're like the 31st or 30th ranked defense. This guy is a damn institution all in itself. He's that damn good. Yeah, man, Russell Wilson has 71 touchdowns and 18 interceptions. Aaron Rodgers, 74 touchdowns and just 9 interceptions. What, at 36 years old or something like that? Come on, man. That's amazing. Tom Brady, 64 touchdowns and 20 interceptions. Man is damn near in his mid-40s, still playing at a high level. All these guys are what? Ball distributors. Deshaun Watson is a ball distributor who can get you something outside the pocket, but I wouldn't consider him like a running quarterback or something like that. He is very much in the mode of an Aaron Rodgers to me. But you can see here he can add some rushing to the thing here. He has 2 more yards rushing than Russell Wilson there. He has 10 rushing touchdowns. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers with 332 yards. We know he can move around. Tom Brady, stiff as a diving board, right? Granddaddy ain't moving around. He got 40 yards rushing, but we know who won the Super Bowl. More than one way to skin a cat, ladies and gentlemen. So if you can see out there, man, at 8.66 yards per attempt, Deshaun Watson is that dude, is that damn dude. All right, in comparison with Patrick Mahomes, we know who's probably the best doing it. Regardless of what bracket you want to put him in, Patrick Mahomes is the truth. Patrick Mahomes, though, to me, I can't say that he's just flat out better than Deshaun Watson because he works with a litany of elite weapons. If you put Deshaun Watson on the if you put Deshaun Watson on the Kansas City Chiefs, he would have the same exact results as Patrick Mahomes. I don't see a difference there. I don't think he's better, right? I do rate weapons as well. You got to do that. But Patrick Mahomes, regardless of what you say, we know he's the absolute truth. Look at that, 66.1% completion percentage for Mahomes. I added Dak Prescott in here. What I did with this one was 3 full seasons of starting. That's what I wanted. The first 3 full seasons of starting. So you had to skip the first year of Watson and Mahomes, and Dak Prescott started right away. So the first 3 years there, I put Prescott there. He may be slightly older than those guys, but I think of them kind of in the same vein, especially with seeing they were in college at the same time. So Dak Prescott can go. I like him a lot as well. He has 67 touchdowns, 25 interceptions in his first 3 seasons as a starter. Watson, like I said before, 85 touchdowns, 28 interceptions in his first 3 seasons as a starter. A 104.7 career rating, or at least not career rating, for the last 3 seasons. Patrick Mahomes, nasty. 114 touchdowns and just 23 interceptions. 109.3 rating. So a 109 rating for Patrick Mahomes, a 104 for Deshaun Watson. Although he had DeAndre Hopkins and Will Fuller, he didn't have anything like having a Travis Kelce combined with the damn McCole Hardman and Sammy Watkins, former DeAndre Hopkins teammate there. And, of course, your man, whoo-wee, your boy, you know what I'm talking about. That dude be getting after it. Tyreek Hill. You got that dude as well. You can see right there. So you can very much put him in the same vein as Patrick Mahomes to me. And Lamar Jackson. Last one right here, I want to compare his first season as a starter, which was a truncated one, just like Tua Tagovailoa's was. Tua got 10 more games to start, but as you can see right here, man, Tua on it. 64% completion percentage for Tua. Played 3 more games than Watson, who had a 61.8 completion percentage, right? Higher completion percentage and more games for Tua. Obviously more attempts for Tua, and to let you know that wasn't fugazi or anything. But 19 touchdowns and 8 interceptions in that truncated 6-game season, a 103 rating. We know how he got out the gate. And Tua, of course, 11 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. Come on, people not giving Tua his credit. And 269 yards rushing for Watson, 109 for Tua. Tua coming off a major hip surgery. Wasn't even supposed to play last year. I did not think he was going to play. When he was leaving that field in that Mississippi State game, I was like, man, we won't be seeing this kid for at least a couple of years, especially when I found out it was a hip dislocation. Man, I was actually scared for the guy's career, but he's there, man. I personally would stick with Tua, but you cannot argue against getting a Deshaun Watson. And for that compensation package that I mentioned there, I want to know, would you guys actually go through with that trade? So, real men watch to the end. I love the call and response type stuff right there. Lets me know who's paying attention, who's watching to the end, and lets me know who can follow details. So, let me know if you would rock with that compensation package there, or if you would go ahead and stick it out with the Samoan sniper, Tua Tagovailoa. All right? But it's your boy Murph, the Underground King. Thanks for rocking with your boy. Make sure you support quality content. And with that being said, I am out. Peace.
What more can I say?
Top Billin.